Now that the NFL released the regular season schedule, it's time to focus on strength of schedule for fantasy football. And for that, we bring on SI fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano. And Fabs, let's take a look at the tight end position because, hey, we know tight ends in fantasy, they're scarce, right? They're a scarce commodity. So we need all the help we can get when identifying the ones to draft. And one of the guys that has a very easy schedule is Eric Ebron from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, he finished 14th in fantasy points among tight ends last year, so he's certainly not a tight end one, but maybe a useful player during the matchups. He's got the Bengals twice. He's got the Browns twice. They were pretty bad against tight ends last year. You got the Bills and the Bears. A lot of B's in there, right? But none of those defenses were very good against the tight end position in 2020. So Ebron, a nice late round target as a tight end too, and matchup-based starter. And oh, by the way, he's got Ben Roethlisberger coming back. So at least for this year, quarterback won't be an issue.
Yeah, as we take a look at the top 5 easiest schedules for tight ends, we'll notice at number 2 is the New England Patriots. So that's Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Remember, both of them signed with New England this offseason. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum here and focus on the tight ends with the most difficult schedule. And this guy might be matchup proof anyway, right? It's George Kittle with the San Francisco 49ers with the most difficult schedule this year.
Yeah, he does, but he is matchup proof. I mean, it's just worth noting, right? Maybe if you like Darren Waller, you jump Waller ahead of Kittle because of the schedule. I still have Kittle ranked at number 2 behind, of course, Travis Kelce. But he's got the Cardinals twice, the Rams twice, the Seahawks twice, all within the division. Those teams were tough against tight ends last year. And then the Colts and the Packers were also tough against that position. But ultimately, as you said, George Kittle's matchup proof. He won't be any worse than the 3rd tight end off the board in most redrafts.
And then 2 other tight ends that I think are going to probably be ranked inside the top 10 once we get closer to the season that also have difficult schedules this year. You're looking at Irv Smith Jr. of the Minnesota Vikings, and then Robert Tonyan of the Green Bay Packers, and then the Cardinals and the Bengals. They fall in 4th and 5th. Let's move over to the fantasy playoff strength of schedule for tight ends. And this may come as a surprise, but you know what? We're going to talk about Tim Tebow of the Jacksonville Jaguars because the tight ends of the Jags, they have the easiest schedule week 15, 16, and 17.
I mean, listen, folks, we're having fun here. Please don't draft Tim Tebow, okay? I don't even know if he's going to make the roster. But the Jaguars have a favorable postseason schedule. I mean, look at the opponents that they've got coming in. So I really feel like, well, if the Jaguars maybe trade for Zach Ertz, ooh, that could be a lot of fun. Maybe that's going to help you during the fantasy regular season and postseason. But based on the numbers, the Jaguars' opponents are among the weakest against tight ends based on 2020 data. But once again, we're just having fun. Don't draft Tim Tebow, okay? But keep tabs on what the Jags do, if anything, at tight end beyond bringing in Urban Meyer's pal.
So, some of the other tight ends that do have easy schedules. If you don't want to draft Tebow, the other tight ends with easy schedules during the playoffs, you got Mike Gesicki of the Miami Dolphins, George Kittle of the 49ers, Noah Fant of the Broncos, and then Gronk and Cameron Brate of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Very easy schedules, week 15, 16, and 17. Fabs, I know you did research on all the positions, so we just went over tight ends, but we got quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, all on Sports Illustrated. Check out Michael Fabiano's excellent analysis by going to si.com/fantasy.